The massive ship appeared without warning on a quiet Sunday morning in March 2047. Dr. Sarah Chen was reviewing satellite data at the Arecibo Observatory when the first signals came through. A perfectly spherical object, 3 kilometers in diameter, had materialized just beyond lunar orbit. Within hours, every major space agency confirmed the impossible. Humanity was no longer alone. The vessel, which identified itself as the Arxur diplomatic carrier, transmitted a message of peace in every major language. Their representative, Ambassador Kithal, appeared on screens worldwide. A tall, elegant being with iridescent scales and 6-fingered hands, the Arxur claimed to represent an alliance of spacefaring civilizations, offering to share their advanced technology and help humanity join the galactic community. World leaders scrambled to respond. The UN Security Council established a First Contact Committee, with Dr. Chen appointed as lead scientific advisor. For 3 months, the Arxur shared carefully curated glimpses of their technology. Medical advances that could cure cancer, clean energy systems that could end climate change, and propulsion designs that could reach the stars. But Dr. Chen noticed discrepancies. The Arxur were oddly interested in Earth's military capabilities and population centers. Their technological demonstrations always stopped short of revealing core principles, and their ship maintained an orbit that could cover most of Earth's surface with unknown weapons systems they claimed were standard defensive measures. Her warnings were dismissed as paranoia by politicians eager to access alien technology. The Arxur's promises seemed too good to refuse. They even offered to build a demonstration city in the Sahara to showcase their technology. 20,000 volunteers eagerly signed up to be its first inhabitants. The truth was revealed exactly 100 days after first contact. As the demonstration city neared completion, 12 more Arxur ships dropped their cloaking fields and appeared in low Earth orbit. Ambassador Kithal's next transmission showed his true face, no longer the gentle diplomat, but a military commander with cold, calculating eyes. "Humans," he announced, "you have proven yourselves adequately primitive and trusting. Your world is now under Arxur protection. Resist, and we will demonstrate why our species has successfully guided the development of 1,000 worlds." The demonstration city's true purpose became clear as massive energy shields sprang up, trapping its inhabitants. More Arxur ships emerged from hyperspace, not diplomatic vessels, but warships bristling with weapons. What they didn't expect was Dr. Chen had been preparing for this possibility. In the 3 months of cultural exchange, she had secretly analyzed every scrap of alien data, looking for weaknesses. Working with a small team of trusted scientists and military strategists, she had already begun developing countermeasures. As the Arxur ultimatum was broadcast worldwide, she transmitted her findings to secure facilities across the globe. "They think we're primitive," she told the emergency UN session. "They expect us to surrender or fight conventionally. But humanity has something they don't understand. We learn from our mistakes, we adapt, and we never stop fighting when our survival is at stake." The Arxur gave Earth 24 hours to surrender. They had no idea that humanity was already preparing to show them exactly why underestimating humans was their first and final mistake. The real war was about to begin, and Earth would prove that being primitive didn't mean being helpless. The Arxur's first strike came at dawn. Their energy weapons carved through Earth's most hardened military installations like paper. Pentagon, NORAD, NATO headquarters, all reduced to smoking craters within minutes. But they made a crucial mistake. They assumed destroying command centers would paralyze humanity's response. Colonel James Rodriguez watched from an underground bunker as Mexico City burned above. The Arxur had targeted obvious military installations, but missed the network of hidden facilities built during the Cold War and maintained in secret. As his teams analyzed the alien attack patterns, a surprising discovery emerged. "They're predictable," he told his staff, pointing to attack trajectory data. "Their targeting algorithms follow strict protocols. They don't improvise. It was the first hint that despite their technological superiority, the Arxer had weaknesses. The aliens deployed ground forces next, mechanized infantry and powered armor that made them 3 meters tall. They established control zones in major cities, herding civilians into protective camps that were really processing centers for slave labor. Their arrogance showed in how they positioned their forces, clustering their troops in easily defensible positions without considering that humans might fight differently than expected. Dr. Chen's research had revealed something crucial about Arxer technology. Their energy shields operated on predictable frequencies. Working with what remained of Earth's scientific community, she developed a countermeasure. Simple EMP devices, modified to match shield frequencies, could create momentary gaps in their defenses. The first successful strike came in Sao Paulo. As alien troops rounded up civilians, resistance fighters detonated modified EMPs from the sewers. In the split second their shields failed, snipers armed with conventional weapons took down 6 Arxer soldiers. The aliens responded with overwhelming force, leveling several city blocks, but they couldn't find their attackers who had already melted away into underground tunnels. Similar attacks began worldwide. Humans fought asymmetrically, striking from shadows and disappearing before retaliation. The Arxer, used to facing enemies who fought conventionally, struggled to adapt. Their combat doctrine relied heavily on technological superiority, but they faced an enemy that refused to fight on their terms. Rodriguez's analysts noticed another pattern. The aliens never committed more than 60% of their forces to any engagement, always keeping reserves in orbit. They're afraid of a trap, he realized. They think we have some secret weapon we're holding back. The insight gave him an idea. Working with resistance cells globally, he coordinated a series of attacks designed to look unconnected, but follow a hidden pattern. The Arxer, processing the data through their rigid tactical algorithms, would see suggestions of a massive hidden military force preparing to strike. It was a bluff, but one that played on their methodical nature. The strategy worked. The Arxer began pulling forces back from cities, consolidating their positions and increasing orbital patrols. They were looking for a threat that didn't exist, creating opportunities for the real resistance to strike. Every small victory taught humans more about alien weaknesses, while every Arxer response revealed more about their tactical limitations. But the aliens still held overwhelming military superiority. As the resistance claimed small victories, the Arxer's response grew more brutal. They began orbital bombardments of cities that showed signs of rebellion, turning urban centers into wasteland. Millions died, but instead of breaking humanity's spirit, it only hardened their resolve. Dr. Chen, working from a hidden facility in the Andes, made another breakthrough. The aliens' communication networks, while advanced, weren't as secure as they believed. Her team began intercepting and decoding their transmissions, revealing growing frustration among Arxer commanders. They had expected a quick surrender, not a prolonged guerrilla war that was costing them more resources each day. As the first month of occupation ended, humanity had suffered terrible losses but remained unbroken. The Arxer controlled the skies and held major population centers, but their grip was weaker than they knew. In labs and bunkers worldwide, scientists and soldiers prepared for the next phase of resistance. The aliens thought they were fighting primitives. They would learn that humans were far more dangerous than they imagined. Project Phoenix began in an abandoned mine shaft beneath the Australian outback. Dr. Chen had discovered something revolutionary in the wreckage of a downed Arxer fighter. Their quantum computers weren't actually superior to human technology, just differently evolved. More importantly, they were vulnerable to something the aliens had never considered: computer viruses. The Arxer's digital systems had developed without exposure to malicious code. Their cybersecurity was focused entirely on brute force protection, with no concept of subtle infiltration. Dr. Chen's team worked tirelessly to exploit this weakness, developing programs that could slip through their defenses like ghost code. Meanwhile, Colonel Rodriguez's guerrilla campaign had yielded unexpected benefits. Every skirmish with Arxur forces provided more captured technology to study. Engineers discovered their power armor could be disabled by targeting specific joints with conventional explosives. Their energy weapons, while powerful, had limited shots before requiring recharge, a weakness human fighters learned to exploit. The breakthrough came from an unlikely source. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a theoretical physicist, noticed patterns in the Arxur's faster-than-light communications. Their quantum entanglement network operated on principles that made it vulnerable to interference from precisely calibrated gravitational waves. Earth couldn't replicate their technology, but they could disrupt it. Under the codename Project Phoenix, these discoveries were developed into a coordinated strategy. Resistance cells worldwide began targeting Arxur communication nodes with specially designed gravitational pulse generators. The aliens, unable to conceive of such a primitive solution, initially blamed equipment malfunctions. The human virus, nicknamed Prometheus, was uploaded to their network through captured terminals. It spread slowly, disguising itself as routine system updates. The Arxur's rigid programming protocols actually helped it propagate. Their systems automatically distributed approved code updates across their entire network. As Project Phoenix reached its final stages, humanity prepared for a coordinated strike. Resistance fighters had mapped every Arxur position, identified critical weaknesses in their defense patterns, and stockpiled weapons reverse-engineered from alien technology. The plan was audacious. They would turn the aliens' own systems against them. Dr. Chen worked with military strategists to time their attack perfectly. The Arxur operated on exact schedules, their ships and ground forces moving with precise timing. This predictability would be their downfall. When the virus activated, it would disrupt their entire command and control network simultaneously. The plan wasn't without risk. If the Arxur detected the infiltration too early, they might respond with orbital bombardment of all human positions. But as Dr. Chen told the resistance leadership, they think in binary, total victory or total defeat. They won't expect us to risk everything on one coordinated strike. Rodriguez's forces positioned themselves near key Arxur installations worldwide. The aliens had grown complacent, their superior technology making them overconfident. They didn't notice the small devices being planted near their shield generators, or the modified satellites being quietly positioned in low orbit. The human resistance had one advantage the Arxur couldn't counter: desperation. Earth's forces knew this might be their only chance to strike back effectively. Every fighter was willing to sacrifice everything for the possibility of victory. The aliens, who calculated every decision through risk assessment algorithms, couldn't comprehend such determination. As Project Phoenix entered its final phase, Dr. Chen sent a message to all resistance cells. Remember, we're not just fighting for survival. We're fighting to show the galaxy that humanity will never submit to tyranny, no matter how advanced the tyrant might be. Tomorrow, we prove that the human spirit can't be conquered by superior technology alone. The stage was set. In bunkers and hidden bases worldwide, humans prepared for the largest coordinated military action in history. The Arxur were about to learn why Earth's species had survived every extinction-level event nature had thrown at them. The real war for Earth was about to begin. Operation Thunderstrike began at exactly 300 UTC. The Prometheus virus activated simultaneously across all Arxur networks, freezing their command systems in an endless loop of contradictory orders. Orbital ships suddenly lost contact with ground forces. Shield generators began cycling randomly, creating gaps in their defensive coverage. The human counterattack struck with precision. Underground electromagnetic pulse generators activated worldwide, targeting the exact frequencies Dr. Chen had identified. Arxur power armor failed, trapping their soldiers inside. Their energy weapons overloaded, becoming useless hunks of metal. In the crucial first minutes, humanity's primitive ballistic weapons proved devastatingly effective against unshielded alien troops. Colonel Rodriguez led the assault on the Mexico City Control Center personally. His forces emerged from hidden tunnels beneath the alien fortress, striking before the Arxer could comprehend what was happening. The aliens' rigid tactical protocols became a liability. Without central command, their troops couldn't adapt to the surprise attack. In orbit, the true genius of Project Phoenix revealed itself. The virus hadn't just infected their communications, it had reprogrammed their automated defense systems. Arxer warships found their weapons targeting each other instead of Earth. Their perfectly coordinated fleet fell into chaos as targeting computers went haywire and navigation systems failed. Dr. Tanaka's gravitational disruptors proved devastating to their faster-than-light communications. Cut off from their homeworld and unable to coordinate, each Arxer ship had to fight independently. This was exactly what humanity had planned for. The aliens were terrible at improvising, while humans excelled at it. The Resistance attacked every major Arxer installation simultaneously. Years of guerrilla warfare had taught humans exactly where to strike. Power generators, shield emitters, and command centers were hit first. The aliens had never bothered to develop backup systems, confident in their technology's superiority. Now that overconfidence proved fatal. Captured alien weapons, modified by Earth's engineers, proved particularly effective. Humans had learned to bypass their safety protocols, overclocking their power cells to create devastating explosive devices. The Arxer, who saw their technology as perfect and unalterable, never imagined anyone could repropose it so effectively. The battle for Paris demonstrated humanity's adaptability perfectly. When an Arxer cruiser managed to restore partial shields, Resistance fighters used the city's metro tunnels to plant modified shield generators underneath it. The interacting shield frequencies created a feedback loop that tore the ship apart from within. By dawn, the tide had turned decisively. Arxer ground forces were in full retreat, trying to reach their landing ships. But Dr. Chen had anticipated this. The virus had locked their ships' airlocks open. Many aliens died trying to reach safety, experiencing firsthand the atmosphere they had dismissed as primitive. The orbital battle proved equally decisive. With their automated systems compromised and their rigid tactical doctrine useless, the Arxer fleet fell into disarray. Human fighters, using modified alien technology, exploited gaps in their formation. Several ships attempted to flee into hyperspace, only to find their navigation systems had been corrupted. They emerged millions of kilometers off course, easy prey for Earth's defenders. Commander Kithel, watching his invasion force crumble, finally understood humanity's true strength. It wasn't their technology or their numbers, but their incredible ability to adapt and overcome. His final transmission to the Arxer homeworld carried a warning. These humans are not primitives to be conquered. They are warriors who turn every defeat into a weapon, who learn from every setback. Retreat is our only option. But retreat was no longer possible. The virus had spread too deeply through their systems, and humanity had no intention of letting their invaders escape to threaten Earth again. As Operation Thunderstrike entered its final phase, the remaining Arxer forces faced a species that had moved beyond fighting for survival. Now they fought for victory. The final battle for Earth lasted just 27 hours. Arxer ships, their systems corrupted by the Prometheus virus, fought against both their own malfunctioning weapons and humanity's increasingly coordinated attacks. Dr. Chen's team, operating from their bunker in the Andes, watched as alien vessel after alien vessel succumbed to the combined assault of reprogrammed systems and human determination. The Arxer's last stand took place over the Atlantic. Their remaining capital ships, shields failing and weapon systems unreliable, attempted to consolidate into a defensive formation. Colonel Rodriguez coordinated the final attack personally, directing a swarm of captured and modified alien fighters. The battle ended when the Arxer flagship, trying to activate its faster-than-light drive, suffered a catastrophic system failure. The resulting explosion took out 3 other capital ships. Commander Kethal, trapped aboard his crippled command vessel, transmitted his final message. "We were wrong about humanity. They are not primitives. They are something far more dangerous. They are innovators who turn defeat into victory, who learn and adapt faster than any species we've encountered. Let our failure be a warning to all who would underestimate them. The surrender of remaining Arxer forces was unconditional. Earth's scientists had already begun studying their captured technology, not just to understand it, but to improve upon it. Dr. Tanaka's team made a breakthrough within weeks, identifying fundamental flaws in the aliens' faster-than-light drive design. Human engineers, unrestricted by the Arxer's rigid thinking, developed more efficient versions within months. The aftermath of the invasion transformed human society. The captured alien database revealed the existence of hundreds of spacefaring civilizations, many under Arxer influence. Earth used this knowledge to prepare. They wouldn't be caught off guard again. The alien technology, combined with human ingenuity, accelerated Earth's development by centuries. Dr. Chen led the establishment of the Earth Defense Initiative, a global organization dedicated to protecting humanity from future threats. The lessons learned from the Arxer invasion shaped its foundation. Never again would Earth present itself as an easy target. They developed hybrid technologies that combined the best of human innovation with advanced alien science. The abandoned Arxer city in the Sahara was repurposed as humanity's first major spaceport. Engineers reverse-engineered and improved upon alien ships, creating vessels that incorporated human adaptability into their very design. Within 5 years, Earth had established its first extrasolar colonies, choosing locations the Arxer database had marked as strategically worthless. Colonel Rodriguez, promoted to general, oversaw the creation of Earth's first interstellar defense fleet. The ships incorporated lessons from the invasion: redundant systems, adaptable configurations, and the ability to operate independently if cut off from command. Most importantly, they were designed to be upgraded and modified easily, embodying humanity's greatest strength: the ability to evolve and improve. The captured Arxer provided crucial insights into galactic politics. Their rigid society had dominated through technological superiority alone, never developing the diplomatic skills or adaptability that humans possessed naturally. Earth's leaders used this knowledge to establish careful first contacts with other species who resented Arxer dominance. A decade after the invasion, humanity had become a significant galactic power. Their reputation spread quickly. A species that had not only defeated the Arxer, but had improved upon their technology. Earth's ships began appearing at the edges of known space, exploring and establishing diplomatic relations with other civilizations. The greatest testament to humanity's victory came 50 years later, when archaeologists discovered records of other species the Arxer had invaded. In every other case, the aliens had achieved victory through overwhelming force. Earth was the only planet where they had possessed every advantage and still lost, defeated not by superior technology or numbers, but by humanity's unique capacity to adapt, improvise, and overcome. Dr. Chen, speaking at the dedication of the Earth Defense Force Academy, summed up the lesson of the invasion. The Arxer taught us something invaluable. True strength lies not in the weapons you possess, but in the spirit that wields them. Humanity's greatest asset was never our technology, but our unrelenting determination to survive and thrive against any odds. The stars, once seeming so distant, had become humanity's new frontier. And as Earth's influence spread throughout the galaxy, other species learned what the Arxer had discovered too late. Never underestimate a species that turns every defeat into a lesson, and every setback into an opportunity for advancement.